Hello everyone and welcome to episode 82 of Legacy Gaming with Atari 71. Before I begin, I'd like to remind you to play the games you have. It's great to grow your collection, but remember to play the games you already have. I'm doing these streams and recordings because I have an extensive collection that I really hadn't touched in almost 15 years. Try not to collect these games like they're trading cards, which is kind of what I was doing. They were made to be played, so I think that you should. I'm playing mine and I'm having a great time. I think it's also good for the cartridges. It keeps the contacts clean and keeps them in working order. I just want to add that if you enjoy retro gaming, or legacy gaming as I'm calling these games, and videos like this, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm active on all three platforms under the name AtariMan71. On this episode, I'm going to be playing three games which were published by M Network, which is Mattel, which also released in television. The game titles are Star Strike, Adventures of Tron, and Masters of the Universe, The Powers of He-Man, or The Power of He-Man. So the first game on my list today is Star Strike, and you'll see the cartridge right here. I'll pull back a little bit. So the thing about these is this top half is the size of an Intellivision cartridge, and they added an adapter to it. You see those two little snaps that's on both sides. They added an adapter to it so that this cartridge would fit in a 2600. Oh, I guess there's snaps only on one side. I've never taken one apart, but it is the Intellivision cartridge, and it's probably done to save money. So I will put this game into my Atari. Boy, this is a mess. My desk is a mess. I apologize. And I will turn on my video capture card. And I will turn on the game. Hey, and there we go. So I have my information here for Star Strike. Sorry, the game starts automatically. So I'm going to mute it because, yeah, well, it's going to end here, but I'm going to mute it anyway. Okay. There's not a lot of noise in the game. There's no music, background music, or anything like that. So Star Strike is cartridge MT4313. It was released in 1982, and it uses a joystick controller. And as always, even though it's twisted and tangled in here, I have my Wicco command controller. I'm going to untangle that because I can see that becoming a problem as I'm trying to play these games today. So this is basically another trading card game for me. I've had it forever, and I don't think I've ever actually played it because when I went to practice it for this stream, it seemed totally foreign to me. This game is actually kind of unusual. First of all, it looks like the trench from Star Wars, and I'm told that that's what inspired this game. And I was a Star Wars freak as a kid. In fact, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt right now. And I think that if I had played this in the past, I would remember it. But gameplay in this game is really not that intuitive. It's actually somewhat different. And the shots that you shoot depend on your altitude in the trench. And also, the laser cannons that you shoot that go forward don't go straight forward. They go toward a focal point in the screen, which is kind of at the top edge of the trench at the horizon of you're trying to destroy a space station. So in this game, aliens have targeted this super weapon on planet Earth. As soon as Earth moves into range, the weapon is fired and it'll destroy the planet. So I'm in control, or you are in control, of a spaceship that's launched at the invaders in an attempt to destroy the weapon before it can be fired. You have to bomb 8 weapon silos which are in this trench. And if one silo remains when the Earth is in range, the planet will be destroyed. So this game uses both difficulty switches to set 4 different difficulty levels. And you only have 1 life in the game. Now the silos that it talks about are these little black, like, hashtag rectangles that you need to destroy with bombs. So if you're in the trench, you shoot bombs. If you're above the trench, you shoot lasers. And there are weapons that are fired at you the little white dots. So there's UFOs that follow you. You can shoot those. If they hit you, your altitude decreases. You can get hit as many times as you want, but your altitude goes down. So you got to fight that. The other weapon is these white flashes that come from the front. You can shoot those and destroy those, but you have to be above the trench to do it. And if they hit you, your controls go all crazy. So if it hits you, up becomes down, left becomes right. It just is kind of unusual, and you usually end up crashing and the game is over. So I will play this game a little bit and show you. I've not destroyed the space station in practice. Hopefully I can do it here for the stream. I'm doubtful of that though. So, but we'll see how it goes. VGR ratings for this game. The graphics are rated 4 for good, and the playability is 3 for worth playing. So I'm going to play it on the easiest level, which is difficulties in B for both positions, and we'll see how I do. Like I said, in practice, I've never destroyed the space station or this weapon, so we'll see how it goes. Okay. Oh, my sound is messed up, of course. Something always goes wrong, right? Oh, I muted it. I'm a dummy. Do that over. So I'm going to just play game 1 here, and I'm going to play it with both difficulty switches in B, which is the easiest game. Like I said, I've not destroyed this space station weapon in practice, so we'll see how I do here. And there's no music or anything. So there's shadows, but see, that UFO is behind me, and once it goes pink, I mean, I can move left and right and get it out of my sights. Oh no, my sound messed up. And this game depends on sound. Boy, I just narrowly escaped that. Let's see if I can get the sound back. There we go. Now that beep sound says there's a approaching silo. There we go. Destroyed one. Oh, I hit it. Now everything's backwards. So sometimes it's best just to cut your losses. Tried to do it. Couldn't get low enough quick enough. Oh. Got one. I think there's 8 of them, so we're at 2 now that we've destroyed. Uh-oh. Ah, I crashed. And so now it's shooting at the Earth, and the Earth is destroyed. And that's the game. I mean, one life to live, right? We'll try it again. And you see every time that UFO hits me. I tried to get it. Those white blips. See, and everything goes to a focal point. There we go, I got one. Ooh, just barely made it out of that. There's another one. Now the white blips are going to come. There. Ugh. I don't know what I did there. I pulled... No, I pulled down. I screwed up. You know, it's because the weapon that hits you, the white dots that hit you, it screws you up. So let's try it again. Determined. So I don't know how you get behind or these dudes in front of you, and it's gonna beep at me here shortly. Got lucky. Damn jerk. So when you shoot them, they don't come back for a little while. There we go. Got one. It's because it reversed. That white thing hit me. I pulled back, and I should have been pushing down. I don't know. I don't know what happened, or vice versa. I don't know. You know, you don't know. The controls on this are so weird. It would be better if the ship changed color so you knew that your controls were reversed or something. Something to that effect. There we go. There, the dude just hit me so much it knocked me down. And this game it's really an unusual game. It's like no other game I've played, but it's really not that good. I mean, you know, because of the focal point of the shots, and then they're behind you, and then there's this whole thing with being bombed, and your controls reversing. I'd prefer to get multiple lives and you know, basically have to avoid those white dots. Those white dots make it super difficult. And maybe that's just me being a crybaby, but you know, these guys are behind me, so I can go left and right. There, I got him. So maybe I won't see the next one, and I'll be able to get that first silo. See, and I'm just trying to avoid these things. You know, I like the fact that when the UFOs hit you, nope. Missed that one. But it's good. I mean, as long as the Earth is not in range. As long as the Earth is not in range. Oh, I missed it just by a minute amount. It's because the guy came up and knocked me down and... Ugh. That's it. Earth is doomed with me defending it. Try one more time. I feel like I'm improving, but I just didn't want to play this game that much to get good at it. It's just a bad game overall. And this thing with the controls. tell me that didn't hit. Seeing that guy knocked me off course just enough that my bomb hit early and I didn't destroy the space station. Ah, son of a... See, you can't win. I don't know how I just one more try. I know I'm not going to beat it, but it's just this game is just frustrating. And it's not like you can clear out the enemies. You know, they're behind you. There, I got him there. But there's another one that's going to come now, if I'm not mistaken. He clears out. And see, that's the thing. It's probably just memorizing stuff. Seeing these things. Missed it. That guy's a jerk. Yeah, it probably is just memorizing the pattern. So many Atari games are that, you know, just memorize the pattern. He shot me. I was pulling back, but it was one of those things. Sorry, Earth. You see it get destroyed one last time. So it's Star Strike. Really didn't enjoy it that much. Enough to play it well enough to get good at it. So the next game on my list is Adventures of Tron. I don't know if it focuses, but it's another strange, funky cartridge. They're all of these cartridges are like this. The thing that I hated, so I got one of these, and I'll play a game for tomorrow's stream. It's called Space Attack. That's the only one I had as a kid, and hated the cartridge because you couldn't stack it with the other ones. Very colorful. Tron. Okay, so I'm going to call up my information for Tron. So Tron is cartridge MT4317. It was released in 1982, and it also uses the joystick controller. And this is another game I really didn't play, and I don't have any recollection of playing it as a child. I bought this game 15 years ago, and it's sat on a shelf since then. I always liked the movie Tron, but I never got into the games that much. I have an adult friend who had an Intellivision as a child, and he would go on and on about Tron Deadly Discs, which is also an M Network game that I'll be playing later on in the week. And but I haven't really played either game. And so in this game, you control Tron, and you have to avoid a variety of attackers while navigating a grid with 4 floors. There are several aspects of the film appear in the game, including the recognizer, which are those, in the movie, they're red things, and they got these legs that come together and smash. They don't do that in this game, but they are there. There's tanks, and those are in the higher levels, and hopefully I'll be able to get to that because I was able to do it in practice. There's a solar sailor that you can jump on for a ride across the screen. There's bugs, which are nothing like, I think there was a bug in the program. And then there's bits. You have to collect bits in the game, and those I know, when he got in one of the recognizers, there was the bit that said yes and no to him all the time. In the game, you travel down the IO beam, and you start at the bottom of the grid, and you collect the bits that are floating at the top of the row. There's usually 2 of them, 1 or 2 of them. You have to collect them all, and then the IO stream changes, and you can go out of the level. You can also jump on the solar sailor for a ride to the other side of the screen. And I believe it safely carries you over any recognizers or tanks or anything like that. Notes. Jump on the solar sailor. There's elevators to go between floors, and the elevators only activate if you've crossed the IO beam. So the IO beam is in the middle of the screen, and you have to go from right to left or left to right and cross that beam so that you can go up the next floor. Now you can go down floors without using an elevator. You just pull down and you jump down a floor. So if something's coming at you, you can't shoot or anything. Just go down, and do it all over again. The button is just to jump, and you can. I've never successfully jumped over any of the enemies in the game. You just basically die. So your defense is you just jump out of the way. And so you need to avoid the recognizers, tanks, and the bugs while you're clearing the level, or you lose a life if you touch them. And once you've cleared the level, the screen turns blue, and the IO stream gets this big blue band, and you can jump onto it and be transported to another level with more advanced gameplay, faster gameplay. So VGR ratings for this game: the graphics are rated 3 for decent, and the playability is 4 for fun. So I'm just going to play this in the easiest difficulty, and we will see how the game goes. I'm just going to hit reset here, and then to start the game, you just pull back on the joystick, and it dumps you in to the computer through the IO beam. So those little purple things are bits, and you have to jump and grab them, but you have to time it right. Okay, so then you go to an elevator, you go up. So there's recognizers, so you can actually run across it at this level. Ugh. Oh, yeah. If you walk across the IO beam at a lower level, it does you in. So you got to jump across it. The elevators move. Whoa! I pushed up too soon. Now the recognizers are going to come. So that arrow is the solar sailor. Can I get there? And it recommends, let's see, doesn't matter. It recommends going behind, I missed it, behind the recognizers. Oh, I should have gotten both of them. Alright, so now it's blue. So now you go in it and push up and you get to the next level. Ah, that was stupid. It says that the bottom level is the easiest, and I think it's because it doesn't... cause you any issues. Oh, crap. Oh. That was a first for me. I always thought if you... Well. I got caught in a weird situation there. I thought if you cross the recognizers while going through the IO beam, you would die. Ugh. Oh, come on. I know this is level 2, but come on. Oh, that's it. 5200. So let's try it again. I know I can do better at this game. Ugh, come on. I'm just a little late. There we go. And so here's the thing. Oh, come on. That might be useful. Ah, I pulled down. I thought I was going to do it. Thought it was going to be like a magical... So wait till the recognizers go. There we go. So this level is the third level. This level, I believe, introduces tanks. And I believe the tanks actually shoot. Actually, I want to go up this side. There's bugs there. Man, I almost squeezed through that. That was crazy. Come on. There we go. So there it pushed me, but that's not the ride that you get. Ooh, it's close. I mean, I'll be honest, this game is somewhat repetitive. Just from the simple fact that... I thought I could trick it. So maybe it pushed me up the level. Yeah, this is the level with the tanks. I pulled down once. Is that game? That's game. I'll try one more time. This game is actually pretty fun. It's pretty simple, but in its simplicity, recognizer. I'll try to jump up. It's interesting, those first two levels. Yeah, I was going to say I hadn't seen anything yet. I was trying to jump a ride on that Silver Sailor. We'll try to do that here. That's probably one of the harder aspects to this game. You gotta time it perfectly. There we go. I killed myself though with it. So that's basically Adventures of Tron. It's a fun game. I mean, it's simple. It's very simple. It's the same game over and over. There are different enemies, and it comes at you at different rates. But it's fun. It's an Atari game, right? But it's fun for an Atari game. So I'll take that one out. The last game I have for today has a very long title, and it's focus. I don't know if I can focus. It's Masters of the Universe: The Adventure or the Power of He-Man. So I will put that in and turn it on. Let you see this beginning. I think it plays the whole theme song from the cartoon. Okay, so my information for He-Man. This is cartridge MT4319. Was released in 1983, and it uses a joystick controller. And this game is actually a recent acquisition for me. I actually previewed it some months ago when I first bought it. And I didn't have it as a kid, and I didn't play it as a kid, and I didn't know anyone that had it as a kid. And I've not gotten a lot of playing time in on this game. It's actually somewhat difficult to play the game. But I have played it a little bit, and I can say as a kid I would have rejected this game entirely. And not so much of the game for the gameplay, although it is somewhat difficult, is more because it was He-Man. And so I was at an age when He-Man came out that it was kind of frustrating, and not because they were the size of dolls and G.I. Joe guys, but more because I was heavily invested in G.I. Joes and Fisher-Price Adventure People. I don't know many people will recognize that, but they are the same size as G.I. Joe. And Star Wars action figures. They were all relatively the same size. You could generally exchange those figures into the ships of the different collection sets. But He-Man was this giant thing. It had giant toys. It fit with nothing. I hated it. We watched the cartoon in the house because my younger brothers really enjoyed it. I will say it was okay. But I did not play with them as a toy, and I probably would have just rejected the game entirely just because I was so anti-He-Man at that age that, I was, 13. I was like, you're going into high school and stuff. You're not playing with toys like that anymore. So, in the game, you control He-Man as he battles Skeletor in two different types of situations. In the first part of the game, you control the Wind Raider, and you fly towards Castle Grayskull. And this was barely featured. This Wind Raider thing was barely featured in the cartoon, but I believe that it was. I do remember seeing it as a kid. Um, so basically, Skeletor has deployed his enemies that are running along the ground, and they're throwing like these. Well, you're equipped with bombs and then lasers, and the bombs can destroy the guys on the ground, and the lasers destroy the things in the air. And so this guy I'm looking to see what they're called. So numerous fireballs will be flying around the screen to try to stop the Fire Raider. I think those are launched from the guys on the ground. You have a limited amount of fuel, and you can gain fuel by destroying stuff on the screen. And I believe it says it's Skeletor running on the ground, but I thought it was bad guys. They also sort of throw these things that are like boomerangs. They don't go away. They, kind of hover and they focus on you, and you basically get hit by them. And I've not gotten off of the first level. I've not even gotten close to Castle Grayskull, because it's actually pretty difficult. And I've seen people play it. They got to Castle Grayskull, but they didn't even defeat Skeletor in Castle Grayskull. So in the game, you're flying, you're shooting all these things, you're trying to avoid, but you can't just fly past them. That's the other thing. You just can't fly. You just can't say, hey, I'm just going to shoot enough things to gain enough fuel to get to Castle Grayskull. You have to destroy this stuff to move forward. And so it's a pain. I mean, this game is a pain. And the difficulty switches are unusual. The left difficulty is for beginners and starts at level 1 if it's set to A. So I'm going to do that now. And the right difficulty switch is a pause switch. And the game is paused in the B position, but if you switch it to the A position, the game plays. And so it's kind of weird, because the first time I went to play the game, it's like, this isn't doing anything. And I had to read the manual until I found out that the right difficulty switch is a pause button. And I think it's better with a 6 switcher, but I have the junior that I'm playing on, and it's not the best. But we can leave it in A just so that the game plays. So the other thing that's weird is the color selector changes the way your laser cannon fires, or ion cannon fires. In the color switch, it is rapid fire. In the black and white, it's a single fire, but it goes further on the screen. So I'm going to put it to black and white so that I can destroy enemies when they're all the way across the screen, because I have trouble destroying them in rapid fire. And also, if your Wind Raider gets damaged, you can exchange energy units for a new Wind Raider, and you need to make it all the way back to the start of the game. And to do so, you have to have 100 units of energy to get a new Wind Raider. And so this game is weird. But then if you go back, all the enemies regenerate, and you have to destroy them all over again. So the game is frustrating, to say the least. So VGR ratings for this game: the graphics are rated 2 for reasonable, and the playability is 3 for worth playing. So it occurred to me while I was reading through the instructions, I didn't even ever talk about the second phase of the game. So in the second phase of the game, you arrive at Castle Grayskull, and then you're transported inside. Once you're inside, there are 2 walls between you and Skeletor, and these walls move and they roll, and there's a gap in the wall, and you need to go between the gaps in the walls and make it and touch Skeletor. It's basically an advanced game of tag, I guess. Skeletor is shooting lightning bolts at you, or laser bolts at you, and you can use your sword to block them, but when you use your sword, you can't move, I don't think, and because I've never played that level. And the thing is, if you get hit by a laser bolt, it pushes you all the way back to the beginning. If you get hit by a wall, it pushes you all the way back to the beginning. And when it does that, then you have to start all over getting through it. And these walls move erratically, somewhat erratically. They're not, like laser gates, they were predictable. This is not as predictable. I mean, yes, it is predictable, but they move at different rates, and they move up and down at different rates. It's difficult. It's a little difficult, and maybe the player that I saw playing it was playing it on a more difficult level. However, this game it's also timed. I think once you get into Castle Grayskull, and you have a limited amount of time to make it to Skeletor and touch him. And as like I was saying, it's basically an advanced game of tag because once you touch him, you go back to the start screen, which is Man at Arms Workshop, and you have to go all the way back to Castle Grayskull and battle Skeletor again. So it's basically a simple repetitive game. There's two phases to it. I've not gotten past the first. Honestly, I kind of just stopped practicing it just because it was so frustrating. The other thing I read in the instructions, which I was not able to do in practice, is you're able to go past the bad guys. And so as long as there's one of these homing tracker thingies that kind of focus in on you on the screen, no new bad guys show up. So as long as there's no bad guys, you can just fly, I guess. So we'll see how I do. Maybe I'll do a little better since I probably won't try to destroy everything and just move forward. So I'm going to reset the game. I'm actually going to do a pop-out for this one because it's kind of difficult to play this game, quite honestly. Maximize my screen. Okay, so I'm going to hit reset. Okay, and just to start playing, you just push up, take off. So that thing right there. See, and I can't get past it. That's it. That's it. Frustrating. Ooh. He's gonna throw one. Ooh. Oh, come on. Ugh. That's the thing. When they're close to you, you got to switch directions, I think. That's probably the closest I've ever gotten. So, let's see how it goes. That's the other thing. While there's one of those tracker things in the sky, you can't drop bombs, and the bombs are the only way you destroy these guys. Ugh. Ugh. Come on. I got closer. I definitely got closer. 19 miles. Oh, come on. Frustrating. I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, this game, like I said, I wouldn't have played it as a kid because I was not that big on He-Man at the time. Shouldn't have changed direction. Ah, come on! Very frustrating. You know, you gotta fly high, I think. Got you, sucker. Oh, come on! Ah! It's funny when you shoot the guys, they go down in the crater. Yeah, we're making progress here, people. I think I've figured out. Ah! 8 miles. Why did I still go after that dude? I could have just destroyed. Oh man, I could have just moved forward. I'm gonna try one more time. I'm gonna try one more time. So the thing about those things. Come on, that dude didn't die. See now. So the way to destroy those is very specific. And if they're close to you, you need to be above or below them and change direction. because then somehow there we go. That's what we like to see. Ugh. Oh, come on. Oh. So if I play this a little more, I probably will get to a point where I can get to Castle Grayskull and finish off the game. I may do a post-mortem of this and play the game and just get through it and get to Castle Grayskull and basically show the second level. And I'll edit that in here. But for right now, for the stream, I'm just going to finish off this game and call it an episode. So let me call it my closing credits. So that's my episode for today. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I know I may not be the best gamer out there, but I'm trying to bring you some information and some gameplay from my extensive collection. I'd like to remind everyone that even though we may be through the worst part of the pandemic, I want you to be healthy and stay safe, and I think it's still a good idea to wash your hands and social distance. I appreciate you taking the time to watch me play these games today. I stream on Twitch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday under the name AtariMan71. The videos from the stream will then be released on YouTube Monday through Friday or Saturday or Thursday. You know, however many videos I make will be released on the following week. I will be streaming again on Friday with 6 new games from Atari, and I will also play a little bit of Fable. I'm trying to incorporate that because I played Fable in the past, and I want to finish that game for you guys. I finished it on my own on the side, but now I'm going to finish up my character, and it takes about 20 to 30 hours to finish that game, so I'm going to get to it and get back on it, and I think I'm going to do what I'm calling Fable Fridays. So every Friday I'll play Fable for a couple hours, and we'll upload that to YouTube probably the following Monday of the week after. So thank you again, and have a great day.